happening? Yeah, what's happening? That's it, you got it.
What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and welcome back to another episode of What's Happening. This is the weekly web series here on the Burndown YouTube channel where I fill you guys in on the blanks that I may or may not have in between videos where I'm working on stuff. Maybe I'm not working on stuff. Maybe we're just filling you guys in, kind of like today. Well, let's jump right into it. Today is a very sad day because I'm here to let you guys know that I'm not going to be able to make it to Kentucky for LS Fest East. So logistically for me, it is a nightmare. It's like 2,000 miles one way. And ultimately what actually stopped me is it's my son's birthday. He was born on September 11th. So when the rest of the country is remembering September 11th, I'm actually celebrating. So his birthday is the first day of LS Fest East. And logistically it just doesn't work. And I can't leave my family here and go by myself because I refuse to miss his birthday. And ultimately, besides all the debt I would incur and all the other stuff and possibly breaking down and just having a nightmare of a trip, I was willing to go through all that stuff. I am, however, not willing to miss his birthday. I won't compromise on that. So sorry if I disappoint anybody. The good news, though, is it gives me a little extra time to get through it so I don't have to necessarily kill myself. We are still on track. We are working on it. I sent the grill that Jerry made and then I fit into the Twinnebago, plus some of the headlight bezels and things off to powder coat. So I picked a color. They don't have super chrome, so we went with a different color. I'll show you guys that on video when I get it back. Should be the end of the week, and if it looks good, their oven is huge, so I'm probably gonna pull a bunch of trim and other pieces and we'll just powder coat a bunch of stuff. I figured the grill itself was over $1,000 to chrome, which is a deal, and I know everybody's like, oh, that's cheap. Well, for me, that's not really that cheap. Powder coating, however, is very cost effective. And then what I'll do is, since I'm doing pieces, I can do a bunch of other pieces to make it all kind of match and bring it together. The chrome would have been awesome, but it kind of would have been the only shiny blingy part on the whole thing. So we're gonna try the powder coat thing. And then nice part, if I don't like the color, we can always change it up. So my plan for now is, it seems like a ways away, but it's really not. LS Fest West is around the corner. The other thing I don't really like about East at the moment is they just had that big show somewhere in Kentucky, so like the Streetcar Nationals or something like that. It looked like a pretty decent show, but we're still in the apocalypse. Let's just be honest. I mean, you have to wear a mask and you have to stay away from people, and everything is kind of like, right now as far as shows and stuff. Like even when you go to the track, you can't have spectators. So I don't know what the rules and everything are going to be over LS Fest East. And I'm not competing or doing anything. Literally, I'm a spectator that was just going to try to park inside with his Winnebago. As where if we go to West, I'm actually a competitor because I'll bring my car, we'll bring the motorhome, we'll bring the entire shit show, me and my buddies. So it just seems like way more fun, especially to debut it with all my friends and everybody around versus just taking a couple buddies over there. Like this is kind of my home turf, my hometown, West Coast over here. So I'm just going to do that. I'd really honestly love to get out and take some sort of road trip or do something. And I've just poured nothing but blood, sweat, tears, and money into the Winnebago. And let's be honest, I'm getting a little just overworked with it. I'm not burnt out on it, but the fruits of the labor is like, and then my buddies are off racing, and you guys have seen a couple videos, and I don't have my car together, so I made the decision to put my car back together because we munched the cam. So between the cam and lifters and all that stuff, I had some expense on that thing, and I can't really facilitate both. So I chose to fix the car, slow down a little bit on the Winnebago, because ultimately we're not going to be able to make it to Kentucky with it. So the good news, though, is I can have a little fun, a little breathing room, get out, go racing, hang out with my buddies here and there when the tracks and stuff are open. There's another event this weekend that I put my car back together for, and that got canceled because we have wildfires out here. So 2020, for the most part, has just been one of those years. And I mean, it's everybody. We're all in the same boat, and it is what it is. And ultimately, if I spent the time, effort, money, and expense to go all the way to Kentucky, I want to go when it's a big celebration and a party. I don't want to go when it's weirdo, Twilight Zone day where everybody has masks and they can't really hang out and high five and stuff. Like, really, if I'm going to have an experience and get to do something for the first time in my life, I'll just as soon go to sleep right now, wake up in 2021 when stuff's hopefully back to normal, and we can all high five and hang out and shake hands and kind of hopefully kind of get back to normal. We don't have to wear, you know, Darth Vader masks and stuff to hang out in public anymore, whatever. So anyway, rant over. I'm not happy about it. It's been like a week and I'm still like, it's a touchy subject because I really wanted to go. I hate eating crow and not doing what I say I'm gonna do, but sometimes life just kicks you and there's nothing you can do. So I'm just gonna move forward. There's nothing I can really do about it at this point, and we're just gonna bring the heat in LS Fest West this year. We have another project. Maybe we can kind of start talking about that and get focus off of this thing for a while. And we have another project kind of in the works with me and my other buddies here, the West Coast Sloppers, my friend Jeff and Reed. So we're going to come together and put a project together to bring to LS Fest West next year as well, which we may start kind of gathering parts for and working on. So we are really trying to bring pretty much our own little show to the big show at LS Fest West. So if you are on the West Coast, you're planning on going next year when life gets back to normal, you're going to know where we're at in the pits, and you're probably going to want to come and hang out, and I can guarantee that. So enough of the sad news. Other than that, my buddy Brett Turnage is in the SEMA launch pad. He's doing great. He was in the top 15. He's trying to make it to the top 10, and then it goes to judging. But to get to the top 10 out of the top 15, it's kind of odd. Instead of the SEMA judges judging it, they put it to the public. So that's why I asked you guys to help me out. And if you could, I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link in here. I have it on the other video of the Manhattan Project. That's his project. If you could go vote for him, then we can get to the top 10, and then I'll have a reason to actually probably go to SEMA for the first time in my life. I've skipped it every year. I've been doing this for quite a while, messing with cars, playing with cars, and every year I'm just like, no reason to really go other than to kind of look at stuff, but then I'm neglecting work and family and everything else, so I just never have a real reason to go. But if my boy gets in, you better believe I'll be there in the booth hanging out, showcasing his product and being a part of it. And speaking of the Manhattan Project, I mentioned to you guys a while ago, we went hot setup with this, and I was on the fence with what to do. Well, I still am, but I got all excited when we was talking about the Manhattan. So I got a little intercooler core right here. So this was my initial idea. I thought would be cool. This would be the first prototype Manhattan water to air. This is the intercooler I picked because it was the biggest one that Turbonetics offered in a water to air. Figured if you can do it, go big or go home. And we need to support some real horsepower at some point because I'd like to make my car quick. And I got it, but then the problem with that intercooler is it is what you think it is. It's high-end, it's nice stuff. It's got the AccuFab clamshell clamps, it's got all that. And if you even looked up, just those clamps alone are pretty ridiculous. So this intercooler core was pretty ridiculous, but then by the time you machine all the pieces and parts, so I haven't decided if I'm gonna complete this or just sell this core and maybe do something different. I'm still on and off the fence, like I said. And then the weight of this thing, dude, this is a brick. But for the amount of horsepower I guess I would get out of it, whatever that, 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, doesn't really matter. So as far as cooling the car goes, I'm just gonna run it hot for a little while. I still wanna push it. I'm betting we could get probably close to 700 to the wheels out of it, really pushing it. I'm going to bring the shift point down a little bit because the lifters I put in, they're not LS7, they're not special. It's essentially just a truck lifter replacement. So obviously we know it doesn't like 7,300 or whatever I was shifting at, so we'll knock it down. I'll find out where it falls off on power, and then we'll make sure we can shift without getting back in the peak brake torque, which I think will be well up in the 6,000s range, so we should be fine. But other than that, if you guys have anything you'd like to see on it, I don't know if we want to do nitrous, because I guess I could technically have 2 power adders on Rocky Mountain Race Week. So I could do like a dry 50 shot, and that'll cool the intake air temperature charge. I could probably actually do a Manhattan air to air. My buddy was here today. He picked up the project. So we kind of talked about that. So maybe I could stuff another one and just kind of stuff it behind the grill or something, make it fit, behind the grill so it's not as obtrusive and sticking out. And then the other thing I'd like to do with the car is I'd like to get some glass parts put on it. So front end, hood, all that stuff, all that fun jazz. So I'll have to figure out how. I think if I can leave the wing windows, so at least I can open those to get airflow when we're driving around. I might leave just the side windows actual glass, and then everything else we'll just do it in the plastic or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. But I want to lighten this thing up and try to make it as fast as I can. It'll still be street legal, but I mean, it's all caged up and has one seat. It'll have 2 seats in it, but for the most part, I'll just call a spade a spade. I'm not going to try to pretend like this is some daily driver thing. I can drive and do whatever I want with it, but ultimately we're trying to go fast in the 8th mile, and that's really the point of the car. So that's pretty much it. I think I've covered all the bases. We'll bring you guys some more West Coast sloppers. I've got a few ideas to have some other guys kind of join us and liven up the content a bit, so you don't just hear us ramble about our same cars and our same stories. And yeah, so maybe we'll bring you in next time on the West Coast Sloppers. We'll talk about the project we have together, and then as soon as that other race gets rescheduled, we'll bring you guys back for that. And then the car is running, ready to go. And the next test and tune or whatever session, I'd like to take it out and have a little fun. And then this weekend, I'm shooting with the Twinnebago. I think I'm going to install the generator. I took the old one out already. And then I got to make some exhaust exits and stuff. And I'm going to make a list of cosmetic things that we need to go over and get cracking on that. But other than that, until next time, you guys know what to do. Leave any comments in the comment section, questions, hate mail, love mail, whatever kind of mail you want to throw at me, get at me. So that's it. Till next time, I'm out.